The child has no sense of self-consciousness and is not posing as an adult would. We can actually capture the life force itself. And this is something that each customer should be made aware of, the unique feature of this art form. Unlike other forms of photography, such as when we take photographs of models, the person looking at the portrait might say, oh, he's very handsome, or she's very beautiful. But there's always a self-consciousness because the subject is posing. Take, for example, myself right now. Yes, I'm not totally spontaneous. I'm an adult. I know that you, whoever you are as an audience, are looking at me. So it creates a posing and it creates a self-consciousness. In fact, it's especially unusual because I don't know even who I'm talking to. You know who I am, but I'm not sure who you are. So in any case, there's a self-consciousness that takes place. When we take photographs of infants, they're not self-conscious. There's not a sense of, there's a stranger there. So we can capture the life force itself, and it just beams out of their eyes. That's the beauty of the product that we're working with. When we look at the picture of the, when we take a look at the portrait of the infant, they literally leap out of the collage, leap out towards the viewer. And this is something that we need to always emphasize in the work that we're doing with our customers, to help them appreciate this. And of course, it takes at least 6 months before our photographers can do a professional job. It's not something that comes easily. What is the product that we're working with? What is the product? I'd like to say right now, before I go further, let me introduce myself by name. I'm Arnie Nerenberg. I'm a part owner and Chief Executive Officer of Baby Photographers of America. My sister and my father are the other two owners of Baby Photographers of America. We've been in Southern California now for 4 years. We've been in Denver, in Dallas, and Fort Worth, and Phoenix, San Diego, North San Diego, and Orange County. Just to give you a little idea of some of the places we are. The person who's doing the video camera right now is Mike Sims, who's our equipment manager over all the equipment for all the main office here and the satellites, and who himself is an excellent photographer. So at times, I'm going to have a dialogue with Mike, who's back there. You can't see him, but I see him. Right now, he's looking into the camera. Mike, could you show that portrait again, please? This is a portrait that Mike took some time ago, and I want to talk to you a little about it to illustrate some points that are essential to be aware of for good salesmanship. Look at this child. The life force is right there. And someday she's going to be an adult with her own children. Now when her children see this, they're going to feel filled with joy. Gee, Mama was a baby once. Just like me, in fact younger than me. Mama was a baby once. Mama, who's the all-giving, all-knowing, she was an infant once, more helpless than I am. That's a very exciting and moving experience for a child. For this person's child that you're looking at now, because she'll be an adult and she'll have children. Now, when her parents purchased these portraits, it was not only for them, but they may have their parents, namely this child's grandparents, who may never even have seen the child. So when they see the portraits, this might be their first contact with their grandchild. And they will be excited about it. And when they look at the portrait of their grandchild, this precious little person, they're going to say, gee, I see my son in her, or I see my daughter and my grandchild, and they'll feel a deep love and a tenderness for her, just from seeing the image, from seeing the portrait. So this is a great service that we're doing. Of course, we naturally want to make a good living at this and have a good cash flow, but what a service that we're a part of kindling that kind of love. Now, I want to ask you a question, you who are looking at this now. What do you think is going to last longer? A portrait such as this that our customer buys, or the television that you're looking at right now, or the videotape that you're looking at right now? Which do you think is going to last longer? The portrait of the children that you sell to your customers, or the television set that you're looking at? The answer is obvious. The portrait's going to last longer. Now the package we sell right now is for $296. It changed at different times. We used to get $396 for this package. We also tried other prices on it. When $296 was just right for it. The television you're looking at, possibly, and most televisions would have run more than $296, and yet would not last nearly as long as this portrait. The car that you're driving, you, whoever you are that's watching this, the car that you're driving will not last as long as this portrait will. The portraits, when a parent buys a portrait, it's going to outlast any of the cars we buy. What is this that we're talking about? We're saying that these portraits will document the bloodline. That is, assuming that the portrait is not destroyed by fire or flood, or the dog doesn't chew it up, then most likely these portraits will last for many generations to come. I would even go as far as to say for many hundreds of years. And perhaps in a very small percentage of times, maybe 1%, it will last for even 1,000 years. So we're dealing with a product that's going to outlast almost anything that your customer buys. So we're documenting the bloodline. What is documenting the bloodline? What does it mean to people? It's an ancient, inborn, innate desire to document the bloodline. All cultures want to document it. For example, in the Bible, there are pages written about so-and-so begat so-and-so, begat so-and-so, begat so-and-so, who was the father of so-and-so, the son of so-and-so, the son of so-and-so, the daughter of so-and-so. This type of begats is very prevalent throughout the Bible. And all cultures, for those who have seen the movie Roots, there was a situation where he went to Africa, and there was the particular man in the tribe who remembered the bloodline and would spend days recounting who was descended from whom. So we know that we're dealing with a very basic need, something very primitive, something that's universal through all cultures and all nations, to document the bloodline, and we're involved in a product that does that. But there's a second function that I've already mentioned, which is kindling love. Our product kindles love. For instance, if the grandparent sees it, kindles love in them. When this child's children see it, they'll kindle love in them. Put it back. Now I'd like to have it back on me if I might have. Mike, thanks. So now, who else will it kindle love in? Mike's can now bring the camera back to me. Who else does it kindle love in? I had one sales rep tell me it kindles love in him because he made a good sale. But in addition to that, in addition to what it means to us, from our own personal selfish point of view, what does it mean? Now it's the grandparents and the relatives, but we've already talked about what it means to the children of this lady. This little girl is going to have children. Her children are going to prize this. But you know who else is going to particularly treasure it? When her husband sees this, he's going to say, you know, honey, I not only love you as a woman and as my wife, but you know, I still see that same expression in your face. You still have that same baby look at times. I didn't know it was a look from your babyhood, but now I know it. And I also love you as the infant that you are, as well as the woman and the good wife that you are to me. I can assure you that there were plenty of husbands who have that. When I personally have seen pictures of my wife as an infant, I know I still see the smile of her as an infant. I can see it in my mind's eye right now. I see it, her as an infant, and there have been times as an adult when I still see that smile. Whenever I see it, I go back in my mind, I flash back to the portrait I've seen of her as an infant. And it does do something special. So we're dealing with something very personal, very intimate, very lasting. Review in your mind the three basic facts that I've attempted to present to you about the product that we have. I'll give you a moment's silence and reflect in your mind. I'll review them with you. Our product documents the bloodline. It documents the bloodline. It'll go on for hundreds of years, maybe even 1,000 years, and maybe a small percentage of cases. It kindles love. Kindles love. Not only the parents when they look at it now, not only the grandparents and the other relatives, but the child's children kindle love in them, and in the child's spouse kindle love there as well. Plus, other generations will also be kindled love. Two very vital functions. Unless you comprehend these functions, you cannot do adequate justice to this product, because this is unique to this product. A third function that I mentioned that's unique to what we're doing is that we're in a position to capture the life force itself. We can just see the expression just emanating out.